My guest tonight is Annie Knight. She's the Executive Commissioning Editor for Wiley Publishing. And tonight we're going to be looking at For Dummies, how to publish your business book, and a whole load more, in fact, on top of that.
The business list that I work on, we're looking for sort of new trends, but certainly some of the business titles that do particularly well are ones that are either, we've got sort of two streams, either key sort of core essential content that's especially relevant for startups. Say bookkeeping for dummies, for example, does incredibly well, and that's because if you're starting a new business, you need to know how to do basic bookkeeping and accounting, otherwise, because you're doing it all for yourself. And marketing for dummies, selling for dummies, these books do really well. Project management for dummies, because they're core skills that you need if you're starting up, either as an entrepreneur or an owner of an SME, and you need to know how to do those things. So those type of books, if you could think of a subject that's a core skill for any small business owner, then you're onto a winner, really. All of our authors are experts in their subject, but they all have to follow the same guidelines. It starts right at the beginning. The table of contents has to be set out they're all set out exactly the same way, and the book's divided into parts. It's usually about 5 or 6 parts. You all start off with a getting started part. That's part 1, and that's an introduction to what the book's going to cover, and then you have a part 2, which could be a planning chapter. It's still sort of introductory level, but it's getting a bit more into the topic. The authors that we choose empathise with the readers. No, the authors aren't dummies, and the readers aren't dummies either, and the authors know that, and it's just a matter of harnessing the intelligence of the readers, raising their confidence, getting them to trust the authors and getting them to trust the brand, and then they will learn from the books. Readers like the part of 10's chapters in particular at the end of the book, but you've got your top, you can sort of skip to it. The whole structure of the book, you're meant to be able to go to any part or any chapter and understand that chapter in its own right without reading any of the rest of the book. In terms of finding authors, it's more often than not, I will seek them out and I will approach them, and sometimes they're from larger firms, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they people I meet that own startups, and they happen to be a fantastic author, and so it's a mix. The average for dummies books somewhere could be anywhere in between 300 to 400 pages, generally speaking. Some of them are a bit shorter, but it might be because it's more of a specialist niche subject. But generally speaking, it's sort of in between 300 and 400 pages. And so we give feedback to the authors. They then come back to us and say, okay, we think it's ready to sort of submit now, and we have a look at it and decide whether they're right or not. And then we submit it to the project editors, who look at it in even greater depth than we do, and they're much more detail sort of oriented, the project editors, and they're the ones who approve it when it's finally ready. Then we offer the author a contract, and that process can take several weeks at least. And that's when the author's written the first draft, and so that is the hardest part: getting that sample chapter and table of contents down, getting the tone right, getting them to understand how to empathise with the reader but not patronise. You've got to be on the side of the reader. You've got to. That's how you can really sort of teach them about a subject. Well, I'm Annie Knight, and if you've been watching the rest of the programme, you'll know that I've been talking about our For Dummies series, in particular the business and management list, which I commission titles for. I commission new authors to write for that series, and we're always keen to find as many new authors as possible for this series, because this series, its key thing is that it breaks the information down into accessible, understandable information. It takes away the fear that the audience have about complex subject areas, and that's the key for the Dummies title. It's a tried and tested format. It's got lots of icons in it, lots of case studies, things that make things so much simpler for the reader to understand. And our readers are intelligent people, but sometimes subjects are complex. Sometimes they might have a fear of presentations, a fear of all sorts of things within their workplace, and it's impeding them, it's stopping them getting their business up and running. And we can solve all that by producing books like we do for them. So if you are interested in finding out what book might be suitable for you, we'll have a Wiley stand at the Business Startup Show on November the 27th and 28th. So we'll be there, and I will be there, as will some of my colleagues. We'll be able to, if you tell us a bit about your business, we'll be able to guide you in the right direction, what books might be suitable for you. If you'd like to write a book, then I will be there, and you can tell me all about that too. And I would be very, very keen to talk to you about that if you're interested in writing.